Hello, and thanks for checking out this brief video. I'm just going to give you a brief walk around tour of the motorcycle. Hopefully the lighting is adequate. It's very difficult to photograph black motorcycles. The lighting tends to get lost in the black paint, but I'll try to give you as good as angle as possible on a lot of these components here. If you read the description in the eBay listing, most of the details of this bike are outlined there. But video certainly helps to give you some better perspective of what you're actually getting. This 2002 V-Rod frame has been highly modified. I did the welding and construction and fabrication for this project, so I know every nut and bolt on this motorcycle. This rear rigid frame component, these are 1.5-inch solid members here, solid aluminum. It's a very, very strong motorcycle. The seat is supported by just some standard motorcycle springs to give it some cushion going down the road, but it is a rigid frame design. Your feet are supported by those rear pegs there, and your chest is supported by those tubular rubber components there. You lay in the prone position to operate the bike, as you can see from on one of the other videos. The bike is registered and insured in Nevada. It's a street legal motorcycle. It's registered as a 2002 Harley-Davidson V-Rod. They go by the VIN number, not the engine. The electrical system, as outlined in the eBay description, is 96 volts DC. It's powered by those 8 Optima batteries wired in series to give it 96 volts nominal. Extremely powerful electric motorcycle. Has a top speed of more than 120 miles per hour. I have not taken it that fast, but it will do it if you want to take it that fast. Just to outline some of the components on the front end here, as you can tell, the front wheel is very wide. It's actually the same size as the rear wheel. The front wheel is from a 2004 V-Rod. I took the rear wheel off that and put it on the front wheel on this one. So the rear wheel and tire are identical in size as the front wheel and tire. This required fabrication of a very wide triple tree made out of solid aluminum components. Very thick, solid material that's been custom machined, and very strong front end, very well balanced, and it rides down the road very smoothly. Very stable motorcycle design. While I have this angle here, I'll just briefly discuss the flamethrowers and shotguns. In accordance with eBay guidelines, these weapons are not being sold in operable condition as part of the sale. The trigger blocks and the flamethrower pressure valves are not included in this sale. If the buyer wants to take possession of those components to make them operable, I will happily donate them as a separate condition of the sale, but they are not included. You are under no obligation to take possession of these components. The flamethrowers, they're not toys. These are fully functional weapons. The shotguns will fire any 12-gauge ammunition, but once again, if you want to just use them as novelty or decoration, you are not under any obligation to take possession of the components to make them operable. There is a video that shows the flamethrowers in actions. Very, very powerful. And those 12-gauge shotguns, one on each side, they fire any 12-gauge ammunition cartridge. Those little spring-loaded plungers basically act as zip guns. So anyway, it is a street legal motorcycle. The lighting is adequate. It has turn signals, brake light, has a rear light. It's operated and controlled, or power supplied by a 12-volt DC converter. This takes the 96 volts from the battery pack and steps it down to 12 volts. This operates the lighting, the horn. It is suitable for traffic conditions. There's not a problem there. When you are riding it in traffic, make sure you have your registration insurance papers with you, because you will draw a lot of attention, and if you do get pulled over, the police obviously want to make sure that this is a legitimate motorcycle. So it is titled once again and registered as a 2002 Harley-Davidson V-Rod. As you can see, the condition of the motorcycle is an absolute pristine, perfect condition. There is no road grime, no blemishes, no flaws, no scratches, nothing. It is perfect. It is in new condition. I put about 150 miles on it for development and testing. The motorcycle is very powerful, very quick. There's more details in the description as far as programming the motor controller for different traffic conditions, but this is not a wimpy bike. This thing will get up and go, and you will definitely have a thrill riding it. I'm going to come over here and show you some of the accessories included with the sale here. This is a 96 volt DC battery charger specifically designed for the motorcycle battery pack. It plugs into any 110 household AC electric outlet and provides 96 volts nominal for recharging the battery pack. The length of recharge time depends on how long or how low the battery pack has been depleted, of course, so that is a variable. This argon tank here and regulator assembly, this is for the flamethrower refilling procedure, which is described in another video. This is the free and clear title, Nevada title, for the 2002 Harley V-Rod frame. I'm also including a parts manual and a complete instruction manual with details and specifications and vendor contacts and lots of information related to this motorcycle. Very detailed. That's also included. These are the mirrors. They're not assembled or attached to the bike right now. They're just removable, convex, low-profile mirrors. I actually prefer the bike without the mirrors, the look of the bike, but you know, you need them if you're riding it around traffic, but they are easily detachable. These cables here are included if you want to charge the battery in parallel at 12 volts versus 96 volts in series. You don't need to remove the batteries to charge the battery pack using this. But if you prefer to charge the batteries, of course, in parallel at 12 volts, you just have to wire them together. There's a photograph in the manual that shows how that's set up. This is an adapter cable for programming the motor controller through Curtis Instruments. They have a handheld programmer that can change the settings on that motor controller for rent. But right now, the motorcycle is programmed for optimum conditions. This jig right here is just a plywood jig with a threaded rod. This is for setting the belt tension on the drive belt. If you disassemble the motorcycle and want to put it back together, that jig is used to set the tension between the motor drive pulley and the wheel pulley. So it's very simple to do, and I just assume including that custom jig for disassembly purposes if you ever have to take the bike apart. Now back to the bike here. It is satin black, so I tried to light this thing as good as possible at nighttime. You know, even with the lights, it is a stealth, has a stealth look to it. So that was the whole point of doing it in satin black. I wanted something that was basically invisible at night, and this definitely does the job. The leather seat here has a worn appearance. I'm not sure exactly how old this seat is. I took this off a Chopper Bobber. This is the only thing on the motorcycle that has somewhat of a worn-in appearance. It's just a natural leather seat, but it kind of gives it a nice contrast to the new condition of the rest of the bike. When you lay on the motorcycle, when you're riding it in the prone position, it's actually very comfortable, very stable, and it's a lot of fun. There's a certain vibe that you know, you put out when you're riding this thing, as you can imagine. You will get some attention in traffic, so be prepared for that. The one last thing, shipping to the buyer anywhere in the lower 48 states. This thing will be shipped in a sealed crate, and that will be described in the eBay listing. So that's included part of the sale. This thing will not just be rolled onto a truck and dock to dock. This will arrive in a sealed crate, and that is included in the shipping price. So if you have any questions, use the contact info to get a hold of me. Appreciate your time, and whoever buys this, I hope you have a hell of a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.